Can you imagine the efforts required in building our national headquarters? Our magazine, the Atlantic Monthly at the time, contains wonderful information about the early days of Memorial Continental Hall. President General Cornelia Cole Fairbanks said in 1905, quote, "We will appeal to the patriotism and loyalty of our daughters throughout the country to aid in founding here a Temple of Liberty in honor of those brave and noble men who purchased for us, at the cost of their lives, the priceless heritage of freedom that we now enjoy." We are building not only for those who went before us, not only for those who are working now for this splendid object, but for those who shall come in the grand hereafter, when our country is still carrying out the lofty ideals of our society, end quote. The Continental Hall Committee reported in 1907 that, quote, "The purpose of Memorial Hall, the National Revolutionary Monument at Washington, is to commemorate the rank and file of the War for Independence, the sailor, the soldier who carried the musket in the ranks, and that great reserve force, the women of the American Revolution. It has become our sublime privilege to erect a fitting memorial, a stately palace beautiful, which symbolizes not only for this, but for all coming generations, the eternal principles of patriotism which animated these soldiers of the line, these women of the spinning wheel," end quote. Please join me as we explore our crown jewel, Memorial Continental Hall. I'd love to share some history with you. One of my favorite items in the DAR Library, which is the old auditorium in Memorial Continental Hall, is this beautiful clock that's on the cast iron railing. It was given by the Baltimore chapter to the National Society and made by J.E. Caldwell, the official jeweler of the DAR. The Maryland crest is at the top and the DAR insignia is at the bottom, and it has brought joy to us for over 100 years. And it's the inspiration for the insignia for the balcony volunteers. And so that makes everyone want to be a member of the balcony volunteer committee. So I hope you love it as much as I do. So we're in the library still, which was the old auditorium from Memorial Continental Hall, our first auditorium, which had a seating capacity for about 2,000 people. If you look here, it was lit by these beautiful chandeliers, these brass chandeliers. We know that a chapter from Kansas and a chapter from New York each paid for 2 of those. And Georgia State Society recently paid to have them refurbished. And I wonder if you're wondering what I didn't know until recently is how do they change the light bulbs on the chandeliers? Well, they're on cable system and they lower them down, change the light bulbs, and then they raise them back up to whatever height they want. And of course, they're suspended from the beautiful ceiling where the ley lights are. And we're all familiar with the ley lights above the library, which was a project from Mary Ann Wright's administration.